Sam Harris is all the rage for giving away the game. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is another declaration of truth from your host, Terry A. Hurlbut. Now, okay, I know I gave you a head scratcher. Sam who? Sam Harris, one of the four horsemen of the new atheism, along with Richard Dawkins, Christopher Hitchens, and Daniel Dennett. Today, he made his big trending splash. When he did, he gave the game away. Not only the Democrats' game, but also the atheist game. And the game of all the rest of the American political left. We're going to talk about that and how he really set up a choose now this day whom ye shall serve moment. Before we start, I do want to shout out to the prime sponsor of this channel, which is Conservative News and Views. Link in the description. Be sure to check out the awesome CNAV Store. Scroll down near the bottom for that link. Lots of great merchandise there, especially this t-shirt that I've chosen for today, which portrays Dr. Albert Einstein saying, "The more I study science, the more I believe in God." Appropriate, because we're going to talk about somebody who doesn't believe in anything or anyone, maybe not even himself, but only the collective. But somebody whom we all know and most of us love really set him off. 2 days ago, Sam Harris appeared on a podcast calling itself Trigonometry. There he actually excused, even justified, a conspiracy to deny re-election to President Trump. No, he did not avow any compromise of election integrity. In fact, he later condemned the very idea or the notion that the Democrats actually did any such thing. But he did excuse deliberate mismanagement of the news. While doing that, he revealed a depth of hatred for a candidate for public office this country has never seen before. And I mean never. Even Lyon and Griswold, the congressional pugilists, have nothing on this guy. Reportage about what some are calling the Sam Harris rant comes from a dizzying variety of sources. From the mainstream media, we have Newsweek, and to stretch a point, Fox News. We also see reports from Op India, Spectator Australia, Sportskeda, that's what a mouthful of a name, Think Americana, and even this channel's old, not quite friend, political junkie, Erick-Woods Erickson from Georgia. Sam Harris certainly said several mouthfuls, and his host was staring at him, mouth agape. I've left links in the description to 2 short video captures of the Sam Harris rant by a Twitter user named Alexandros Marinos. Here is Sam Harris really getting into it. Hunter Biden, at that point, Hunter Biden literally could have had, hold it, stop right there. I am not even going to touch what he said. It is absolutely, positively too horrible to contemplate. Unfortunately, no one has ever alleged that Hunter Biden really did or came close to doing what Sam Harris literally said he would not have cared if he did. Oh, Hunter Biden did have some off-color images on his laptop, but I will not describe further. But nothing like what Sam Harris said as a pure hypothetical. Now let's move on. There's nothing. First of all, it's Hunter Biden. It's not Joe Biden. Even whatever scope of Joe Biden's corruption is, like if we could just go down that rabbit hole endlessly and understand that he's getting kickbacks from Hunter Biden's deals in the Ukraine or wherever else, right? Or China, it is infinitesimal compared to the corruption we know Trump is involved in. It's like a firefly in the sun, to the sun. It doesn't even stack up against Trump University. Trump University, as a story, is worse than anything that could be in Hunter Biden's laptop, in my view. Now, for those of you asking Trump what? Trump University was nothing more than a failed and perhaps overhyped business venture. But then Sam Harris left this gem. Now, that doesn't answer the people who say that it is still completely unfair to not have looked at the laptop in a timely way or to shut down the New York Post Twitter account like that's just a conspiracy. That's a left-wing conspiracy to deny the presidency to Donald Trump. Absolutely it was. Absolutely, right? But I think it was warranted. Wrap your minds around that. Yes, a conspiracy existed and it was warranted? How could it possibly be warranted? Well, Sam Harris tells us. You see, in his opinion, Donald Trump is dangerously, even criminally insane. So much so that Harris believes the media should have blocked out Trump during the 2016 election campaign. In any case, that part about a warranted conspiracy proved too much for interviewer Konstantin Kisin. Question. I know I said we were going to move on, but you have just said something that I really struggle with. Answer. Well, this is where Sam Harris jokes about that horrible hypothetical. Let me assure you that that would have been no laughing matter. Question. Never mind that. I'm interested in democracy. You're saying that you are content with the left-wing conspiracy to prevent someone being democratically re-elected as president. Answer. Well, no, I'm content. But the thing is, it's not left-wing. Liz Cheney is not left-wing. Excuse me? Liz Cheney is not left-wing? Oh, that's really giving the game away. But you've heard me talk about Liz Cheney before, so again, let's move on. But first, let me shout out to a sponsor who can really help you through the economic storms to come. That sponsor is oursilverlines.com. Do you feel like you're working harder for your money just to get by? You're not alone. The fluctuating economy, employment issues, and unexpected changes in life have left many families struggling over the past few years. Collecting gold and silver can help shield you against many of these challenges. But if you're like me many years ago, you don't know where or how to start. Our Silver Lines can help by connecting you with millions of members, thousands of members, who are learning the secret to creating and protecting true wealth by collecting precious metals. Whether you just want to collect old and rare and unique coins or take advantage of the business opportunities that company provides, they can help you learn to live an exceptional life. Visit oursilverlines.com to learn how you can build a legacy for your future. And hey, I hope it does get to millions someday. They'll be even better. The more the merrier. Now, we left off with Sam Harris saying it was not a left-wing conspiracy because Liz Cheney is not left-wing. His words, not mine. Well, Mr. Kisin was still in shock, so he asked Sam Harris again to clarify, and Harris only made it worse. Question. You're content with a conspiracy to prevent someone being democratically elected? Answer. No, but it's not. There's nothing. It was a conspiracy out in the open. But it doesn't matter if it was conspiracy. It doesn't matter what part is conspiracy and what part is out in the open. It's like if people get together and talk about what should we do about this phenomenon. It's almost an asteroid hurtling toward Earth. And we got in a room together with all of our friends and had a conversation about what we could do to deflect its course. Is that a conspiracy? An asteroid hurtling toward Earth? I mean, is this guy for real? Let me tell you, that might have been the last straw for inveterate never-Trumper Erick-Woods Erickson. He coupled that with Edward Luce calling Republicans nihilistic, dangerous, and contemptible, to which I've also left a link in the description, and General Michael Hayden agreeing with that. They really do hate us, he finally seems to have realized. Then he came as close to apologizing to Donald Trump as he will likely ever come. I quote, I frankly think Edward Luce's comment, combined with Michael Hayden's affirmation and Sam Harris' defense of undermining democracy to save it, does far more damage to the national discourse and direction of the country than anything Trump has done. unquote, Erick-Woods Erickson. And why does he say that? Because, says Erickson, Trump was merely reacting to the left's hatred, not only of Trump himself, but also of the people. He actually delivered a much longer monolog on this subject on his radio show. And I've left a link in the description to it. Now, let's ask ourselves, just whom does Sam Harris serve? Joshua, commander and judge of the Israelites after Moses admonished them severely in his farewell address. Specifically, he said in a verse many have since quoted, "But if it is disagreeable in your sight to serve the Lord, choose for yourselves today whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served, which were beyond the Euphrates River, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you are now living. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." Joshua chapter 24, verse 15, New American Standard Bible. Well, Sam Harris has made a career serving the collective and haranguing others to do so. God is his enemy, as he has made plain. Yet to him, the self does not exist. So what does? He really doesn't say. But 2 days ago, as I said, he said a mouthful. But why should any candidate, even one who, like Donald Trump, deliberately cultivated a larger-than-life image of himself, so frighten a philosopher like Sam Harris? What could drive a man to embrace narrating the news in a false and misleading manner? Well, you're better off asking yourself, what stops a man from embracing strategic and tactical lying? Only God. John Adams knew it. That's what he meant in his letter to the Massachusetts Militia, to which I've also left a link in the description. I quote, "Avarice, ambition, revenge, or gallantry would break the strongest cords of our Constitution as a whale goes through a net. Our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other." Well, that's why we must get back to morals and religion. Before I close, I want to remind you that the portrait of Sam Harris that you're going to see in the thumbnail is not mine. A photographer named Christopher Michel snapped it and uploaded it to Wikimedia Commons. He has licensed it under the Creative Commons Attribution and Share Alike 4.0 International License. I have left a link to that in the description as the terms of the license require. I've also left links in the description to the article, to Alexandros Marinos tweets containing the Sam Harris rant, to Edward Luce tweet that is almost as bad, to Erick-Woods Erickson's monolog, to John Adams' letter, to Creative Commons license, and to Conservative News and Views. I've also left links to the awesome CNAV Store and to artsilverlies.com, as I also mentioned. If you like what you've heard, you can like this video. On the end screen, I'm going to leave a subscribe link and a link to Erick-Woods Erickson's monolog and maybe a couple of other videos touching things that I have mentioned today. This is Terry A. Hurlbut delivering another declaration of truth and reminding you to let the truth set you free.